Anthropic has just released a new Claude Sonnet 4.5 model. They state that this is the best coding model out there by far and the large language model for agentic task. One of the most important things, and also the direction that AI, these large language models, all the different agent tools are going, is basically just how good are the models at doing the reasoning, but also all the tool calling. How can I do all the task workflows and everything on its own? So let's just jump straight into the release here from Anthropic. So introducing Claude Sonnet 4.5. Let's just go all the way down here to our software engineering benchmark, where it's basically just scoring significantly above the previous Sonnet 4 model and even the Opus model. It's the exact same pricing as the old Sonnet model. So you pretty much just get better performance at the Sonnet price level. They also state here that it's outperforming the GPT-5 codec and also just the GPT-5 model. They don't specify here what level, if this is the high, medium, or whatever model. We're going to see the benchmark results here, and then we're going to jump into code to see how it works and also how we can use Claude Code. We have videos here on the channel where we go through Claude Code, use many different examples, how to set it up, and all of that. But for us, the most important thing is how good of a job does it actually do at coding. Most of you guys out there is probably using them for coding whatever. There's always a new tool out there. What models you use, what tools you're using, and so on. Personally, in my experience, I just stick with a tool, try to just use some of the different tools and test them out. Maybe use Codex for planning, so the OpenAI GPT-5 model for some planning. I can do some execution with the Sonnet model because it is significantly faster, but it's basically just figuring out your workflow, figuring out how to use the tool. And then again, if you just switch back and forth between the models, you might not learn how to utilize the models in the best possible way. So take a look at the benchmarks and test it out on your own. Sometimes the benchmarks are not really giving the full picture out in the practical world, but we're seeing some really cool improvements here, especially on the software engineering benchmark for agentic coding. What we all want is pretty much just have an agent that goes through the code, we give it instructions, tasks, and so on, and then it goes in and actually solves it by its own, so we don't have to write the code, verify each step and everything. We just want to have the best output in the fastest possible way. So it does a pretty good job on terminal coding. It says it's significantly better than the old Sonnet model, which is already pretty good, but beating Opus here at the same price as Sonnet is very crazy, because now you can actually use some of the lower tiers, so it's only like 20, 50, $100 subscriptions instead of those high ones, which is like 200, and you're still hitting limits if you're coding a lot. Finance, they have some other different stuff here that you can go through. They have the Claude Agent SDK as well, so it's basically just Claude Code that they have turned into an SDK. One of the cool things about Claude and Anthropic is that they have a very big focus on tool calling. So it's one of the best models out there, if not the best model at doing tool calling. The MCP servers are also out from Anthropic. Definitely check that video out as well. We have a full dedicated video on how MCP servers are working. They have a research preview here as well with Imagine with Claude, where you can basically just tell it to build an operating system for you, or try to replicate Slack, build my own IDE and so on, and it actually just goes out there and tries to do it. And then the agent will pretty much just go out there and work for like 20, 30 hours before it finalizes the task. And I think it does a pretty good job. I've seen some demos out there, and we can just take a look at this one here.
With a new way for AI to build software. Struts. It doesn't have to plan out. It isn't. Claude is working out from the overall context.
So yeah, let's go ahead and try out the Claude Sonnet model. I'm just going to open up my code editor. So let's go inside my code editor here. Let's try out the new Sonnet model. So all we have to do is just Claude. We can also go in and find Claude Code. We have a dedicated video going over everything, the setup. We go through some documentation. We go through how to set it up, but everything you have to do is go in, copy paste this one here, throw it into your terminal. This is a terminal tool, but they have also in the newest release here with the Sonnet 4.5, they also released the extension inside of VS Code or pretty much just cursor or whatever you're using, just VS Code in general. So if I go up at the top here, we have Claude Code, open in new tab. So instead of having, you can either have it here or you can have it down in the terminal. So right now I can just hit select model. So the default one is the new 4.5. You can still use Opus as well, it's just significantly larger model. So this is pretty much just a good daily user. You can choose it here, the exact same commands as down here at the bottom. Once you want to try it out, you have to just log in to start with, and you're good to go. So it's pretty much just try to ask it to build out a computer vision pipeline that runs object detection with Ultralytics. So I'm just going to speak it here. I have a transcription tool, so I basically just speak in the prompt, which is also a pretty cool optimization and speed improvement. So I want to build out an app with Ultralytics. I want to use the YOLO 11 object detection model to just run on my webcam and detect only persons. So we need to fill out everything else. I want to save the video into my disk as well. Use OpenCV for everything. So this is pretty much just the prompt. One thing that we can do is to go into plan mode. You can also hit tab and you can switch on and off thinking mode. So right now let's go in thinking mode. We are in plan mode, and then it's going to do the architecture, come up with a plan. We can do reiterations. That's a pretty good workflow when you're working with these new models. So what it's going to do now, it will just build out this YOLO 11 person detection app with webcam input and video saving. So import dependencies, we need to import Ultralytics, OpenCV, initialize it, set up webcam capture, detection loop, filter detections to only keep person class, draw bounding boxes, display the frame, and then do cleanup at the end. So this should be pretty good. Let's just hit auto accept and it will go in and write the code. So you can zero shot or like few shot these pretty much just basic setup scripts for computer vision. You can build out full apps and so on as well. You can build a Streamlit interface, React interface, hook it up with a backend system for detections. Even just a few prompts, you can act like have a pretty cool computer vision application and project up and running, and then you can just connect the Ultralytics YOLO models to it. So it's going to take a look at what we actually get. So it has created some script here that I had in my repo before for another video. So let me just tell it to rename the script. Or we can just rename here. Don't be too lazy. Just call it yellow. Let's take a look at the code. You could do it in here as well. I just prefer the terminal, been used to that. So we create an instance of our YOLO model. We open up the webcam. We set the frame width and height for saving the video. We load in a frame. We get it through our model here. We get our results back. Iterate through all our results. We extract the class ID, our bounding box coordinates, confidence. It filters the class ID for the person. It just writes it out and shows it. So let's go ahead and open up a new terminal and just run the program and see our results. So Python YOLO.py. So one command that we gave to Claude Sonnet right now is going to download the model. It will open up the webcam. I have another webcam connected, so I might need to switch to one here. Let's see if that's opening up the correct webcam. There we go. We have a person detection. We're getting the output results here, and we're also saving it into a video. So this is pretty cool what we can actually do with these large language models, AI agentic coding tools. You can do multiple iterations. Then we can just go back here and tell it to build out a Streamlit application around our object detection pipeline that we have now. There we go. This is how we can build software systems pretty quick, do quick iterations. Then it becomes much more about thinking about how can we improve our models, how can we build out better data sets, the full computer vision pipeline, and so on. We have all that covered on the channel as well. So it's much more about problem solving, breaking down problems, actually communicating it out, getting it out there, figuring out new things, just being creative. But we still need to know how do we come up with a good model, because right now it can't do both the training, all the data labeling. How do we get a good computer vision data set? There's no AI that can do that yet. Let's just also accept it here. It came up with a plan. It was building out like Streamlit application with some WebRTC stuff and all that. We can see we have start stop detection button, confidence threshold slider, live detection statistics with person count, frames per second. These are all Like, very good options. I didn't give it any context. It just comes up with pretty much the best options for a basic computer vision app. So go in and try out these tools here. The new Sonnet 4.5, it just came out, and it's pretty cool coding model. Combine it with Claude Code, and you have a very awesome combo. Hope you learned a ton this video here, guys. Go in and check it out, and then I hope to see you guys in one of the upcoming videos. Until then, happy coding.